Tonight's broadcast is made possible by a generous donation from the Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk. To learn more, go to berkeleyheights5k.com.
Welcome to This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by thealternativepress.com, Berkeley Heights' daily online newspaper, owned and operated by local residents. I'm Michael Shapiro, owner and publisher of thealternativepress.com and president of the Rotary Club of Berkeley Heights. Each week, This Week in Berkeley Heights will bring you a roundup of the latest news in Berkeley Heights and a look ahead at events around town. Later on in this broadcast, in our community segment, we will speak with Relay for Life's Linda Weber and James Finley. And during our business segment, Etya Novick of Respira Salt Wellness Center in Berkeley Heights. Amy Upchurch is no longer the Township Administrator of Berkeley Heights. At its Tuesday, February 19th meeting, the Township Council unexpectedly and unanimously adopted a resolution to immediately discharge her without cause. Mayor Joe Bruno disagreed with the resolution because he said it would cost the township too much money. Since the action was without cause, the municipality will have to pay Upchurch 3 months' salary in severance, which equates to about $30,000, Bruno said. The mayor does not have a vote. Councilwoman Jean Kingsley was absent. Councilman Robert Woodruff said that although fiscal issues are important, quote, sometimes certain issues supersede and have to be investigated and acted upon. Although members of the public asked the reasons why, the mayor and the council would make no comment. Resident Carol Matula noted Upchurch was a topic of discussion during the prior meeting's executive session and asked if those minutes would be available. Bruno said eventually. Woodruff said it was a personnel matter and, quote, the public official chose to have this discussed in executive session. If she wished it in public, it would have been discussed in public. Procedures were followed. I think her wishes should be respected. Upchurch gave a letter to Bruno to read in public session. In it, she thanked him for the opportunity to serve the township for the last 2 years. In a conversation after the meeting, Bruno said that the administrator's last day was Friday. She left about 1 p.m. Quote, she shook my hand and we parted company in her office. Also at the meeting, the council discussed holding a street fair on Springfield Avenue between Snyder and Summit on Sunday, June 30th. The Berkeley Heights senior citizens will have a place to meet through August 31st. The council adopted an ordinance providing for the ability to lease Our Lady of Mount Carmel Society's Mount Carmel Hall at 56 River Road through August 31st. Students at Governor Livingston High School earned a first-place award for collecting the most food during the 2012 Students Change Hunger Food Drive. Students contributed 1,600 pounds of food during the drive, which lasted from September 15th through December. The Interact Club, a community service-driven student club at Governor Livingston, organized the food drive. Sharon Leahy, a social studies teacher, and Doreen Ladinsky, an English teacher, serve as co-advisors for the Interact Club. Quote, the food drive gives students a great opportunity to learn the significance of service and get a sense of the needs of people outside of the community and within the community, said Leahy. Tristan Wallach, a food sourcing supervisor for the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, presented the award to students at Governor Livingston on February 20th. Food banks are always in need of more help and additional resources, said Wallach. Governor Livingston won first place in Division 4, a group of schools with student populations between 500 and 1,000. They also received an honorable mention for the Governor's Cup, the highest honor given out to schools by the Federation of New Jersey Food Banks. This was the first year Governor Livingston competed in the Students Change Hunger Food Drive, but the school plans to participate again next year, according to Ladinsky, a 13-year veteran at the high school. Quote, it is so important students give back to the community and the world at large, she said. Many students who participate in service projects in high school stay and continue to serve the community once they go off to college. When New Providence junior forward Brian Sherman walked into the team's huddle with 11 seconds remaining in the game, he knew he wanted the ball with a chance to beat crosstown rival Governor Livingston. With the score tied at 48, Sherman inbounded to guard Curtis Kazima, who gave the ball right back to his teammate. Sherman dribbled the length of the floor, pulled up 5 feet away from the rim, and floated the basketball off the backboard and into the net to finish the exhilarating win over the Highlanders. The Rotary Club of Berkeley Heights will be holding their 32nd annual family breakfast on March 23rd at the Union Village United Methodist Church, 1130 Mountain Boulevard in Berkeley Heights from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Tickets are $7 per person, $20 per family, with proceeds benefiting the Berkeley Heights Education Foundation. And here's a tip from the Berkeley Heights Environmental Commission. Most of us know that by keeping our cars tuned up, we can improve gas mileage and keep pollution down. But think about where the rubber meets the road. You can improve your gas mileage by up to 3.3%, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, by keeping your tires inflated to the proper pressure. Check your tire pressure when the tires are cool, that is, before you've driven far. The proper tire pressure for your vehicle is usually found on a sticker in the driver's side door jamb or in your owner's manual. Do not use the maximum pressure printed on the tire's sidewall. Another plus, properly inflated tires are safer and last longer. We'll be right back after this short commercial break to speak with Linda Weber and James Finley of Relay for Life.
I'm home and I love it. I'm home where I belong.
It's always nice to come home, but many Americans are at risk of foreclosure and losing their homes. Making home affordable from the U.S. government has already helped over 1 million struggling homeowners like these. The sooner you act, the better chance we can help you.
I'm home where I belong.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. Joining us here in the studio are Linda Weber and James Finley, chairs of Relay for Life for Berkeley Heights, Mountainside, New Providence, and Summit. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mike, for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. Can you talk a little bit about Relay for Life and what it's all about?
Sure. Relay for Life is the largest charity event in the world. It supports the American Cancer Society, who is the official sponsor of birthdays, more birthdays. And ACS, the American Cancer Society, covers research, education, services, and advocacy for those diagnosed with cancer or dealing with a cancer fight. This is our 12th year of the event here in Berkeley Heights at Governor Livingston High School. And this year we're going to be hosting the event on June 8th and 9th, starting at 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon the 8th, and we end with a beautiful ceremony at 6 a.m. on the 9th. And we walk all night to raise money to focus on the fight against cancer.
And can you talk a little bit about last year's event? I think it was a pretty record-setting event. Can you talk a little bit about it?
We are very proud to be the #1 event in the Eastern Division of the American Cancer Society, which is all of the states of New York and New Jersey. And last year we raised $407,000, which is very exciting. By far the largest event in the division, and we hope everybody will come out and support it again this year.
That sounds good. And as I said kind of in the intro, so it includes 4 towns, right? Berkeley Heights, Mountainside, New Providence, and Summit. Both of you are from New Providence. I'm from Berkeley Heights, excuse me. Yeah. But you also have a connection to New Providence.
Yeah, I teach in New Providence. I'm a middle school teacher there, where many of our students actually, both in Berkeley Heights and New Providence, but many of the students form their own teams, raise money through different activities that they do both inside and outside of the school, and really raise awareness. It's something that they're passionate about, so they're excited to get involved.
That's great. I think before the show you were telling me that that's how you, I think, first got involved, was through the team at your school, right?
Yeah, that's right. The leadership organization, peer leaders that I work with, some of the students were actually already involved in Relay for Life, and they were like, Mr. Finley, you gotta get involved in this. And so it was our first year 3 years ago. Called up Linda at the last minute and was like, can we form a team? And of course she was very gracious and welcomed us and set us up with the website, which is www.relayforlife.com, and you can search for Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. And we did that, and it was a piece of cake.
That's great. I know with the race coming up in June, I think you're starting to look for team captains and things like that, right?
We are. We encourage all sorts of folks to start teams to help raise money and awareness. We are a really special event within the division. We have a lot of youth teams, which are middle school and high school kids, and we have a lot of adult teams. It's a really wonderful mix of kids and adults. And whether it's family, friends, people you work with, we strongly suggest getting a team started. We even have virtual teams this year, which are folks that maybe have been involved in the past and now we're just raising money online through emails and other donations to help support the event. We have a lot of college kids that used to go here to Governor Livingston High School or to Summit High School or New Providence High School that still relay with our event and primarily do so online, and then might join us the night of the event if they're back from school. So yeah, we encourage everybody to form teams, and even if it's just online fundraising, or if you enjoy doing car washes and bake sales, whatever it is, we want to support those folks in helping raise money for the fight against cancer.
And the nice thing is it's a community event, so even if you don't form a team, you can still come out. We have food courts, activities for kids and adults. I mean, it's a great thing to get involved in.
And I think that there's a couple of organizational meetings coming up, right, for forming team captains or something like that?
Sure. Every month we have a team captain meeting at Columbia Middle School in Berkeley Heights. We encourage anyone to come, not just team captains, if you want to get more involved and learn more about Relay for Life. And the next meeting is March 26th at 7 p.m. At Columbia Middle School. And if for some reason you can't make that meeting, please go to relayforlife.org/Berkeley Heights NJ, or you can search for Berkeley Heights. And we also have then one in April, which will be April 22nd. So we encourage anyone who's thinking about forming a team to come on out and ask all the questions they have, and we'll support them with materials, with fundraising ideas, with all sorts of things to get going and help us.
And one of the great things about Relay for Life and the event that you hold is there's so many different ways to participate. I know we've talked about forming, with captains, forming teams and all that, but can you talk a little bit about sponsorship needs?
Sure. So we really encourage the businesses in our 4 communities to support Relay for Life. We understand and we know that everyone's been touched by cancer in one way, shape, or form, including the folks that own the businesses, run the businesses in our communities. We have a variety of levels of corporate sponsorship, all the way from purchasing a sign that is around the Governor Livingston track, and we post all of those. It's a great way to advertise your business, all the way up to our larger sponsorships, which put your names and logos in our brochures and on the backs of our t-shirts that every participant gets, and things of that nature. So we encourage all of our corporate businesses in the 4 towns that when you're approached by one of our team members, one of our participants, that you please say yes and get involved, or like I said before, go to the website and contact us in order to become a corporate sponsor of our event.
Yeah, and I know one of the most moving parts of the whole Relay for Life event is the Luminaria.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that.
Go for it.
The Luminaria event is, without question, I think most of us would say, the most emotional part of the event. The reason we go overnight is we want to mirror a cancer patient's journey
in some small
through
way.
Cancer, right? In what way we can. And the Luminaria ceremony at about 9:30, 10:30 at night, where we have those that have purchased Luminaria bags. They're actually paper bags with candles in them that line the track, and those bags are purchased in honor or in memory. In honor of someone who may be still fighting cancer or has fought cancer, and in memory of those we've lost to cancer. And those bags are decorated and the names are on them, and we walk the track. We do a silent lap around the track to really commemorate those folks that we're supporting in this fight. And it's just, and we usually have someone who has fought alongside a cancer victim speak. It's just a very, very moving part of the evening to see all of those candles lit up around the track, literally thousands of them, and it's an incredibly moving part of the evening. So again, if you mentioned lots of ways to get involved, start a team, be a corporate sponsor, but at the very least come out and join us that night and be part of that experience, because Relay for Life, while it is a charity event, it's also, we call it the Relay experience. It really is an experience to be a part of.
And can you go over again the dates for this year's race, and also how people can find out more information about it and get involved?
Sure. So the event this year starts at about 3 p.m. on Saturday, June 8th. It's a week later than we normally would do, so we're excited about that. It gives people a little more time to get involved. And it goes till 6 in the morning when we have our closing ceremony on the Sunday morning, June 9th. The best place to get information is to go to www.relayforlife.org /Berkeley Heights NJ, or you can go to relayforlife.org and just search for Berkeley Heights, or to put even your zip code in, and you'll find our Relay and others.
And our goal this year is to have 130 teams. We want more survivors than ever, and to raise over $425,000. So we're going to need everyone's help.
Speaking of survivors, that's something we didn't touch on that I really feel is important to mention. We do, Relay for Life is not only an event to raise money to fight cancer, but it's also an event where our primary goal really is to celebrate survivors of this terrible disease. And we do have a survivor dinner and reception at 4:30 in the evening before the big festivities get started. And that's usually, that is sponsored by Overlook Hospital, so we're very excited to have them back as a sponsor of the dinner. It is held, rain or shine, inside the Governor Livingston cafeteria with wonderful music and speakers and food and gifts for the survivors, and really a wonderful way for us to kick off the event. So if you're a survivor of cancer and that's the way you'd like to participate in the event, you do not need to be a team member, you don't need to raise money, you just need to go to the website and sign up or give us a call, and we'll get you registered for the survivor event, because that's really what this is about, is celebrating survivors as well.
And AACS considers anyone from date of diagnosis to full remission to be a survivor. So, you know, please come on out, get involved.
Let us celebrate survivors.
That sounds good to me. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about here tonight that you'd like to mention?
Let's see. Well, this is the 100th anniversary of the American Cancer Society this year in May. So we are going to be celebrating that as well, the 100th anniversary, and our goal really with this and the other 5,400 Relay for Lives around the country and around the world, including on some of the Army bases in Afghanistan, for example, and South Africa. We really want, our goal really is to make this cancer's last century. And the best way to do it is to go out and fight and raise money to try and eradicate the disease and really focus on its elimination.
Well, thank you so much, James and Linda, for being here tonight.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
I wish you the best of luck with Relay,
Thank you
and
very much.
we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. Joining us here in the studio is Etya Novick, owner of Respira Salt Wellness Center here in Berkeley Heights. Etya, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So what is the Respira Salt Wellness Center?
Well, we're a very unique place. We're the first salt therapy center to open in New Jersey. And what I encourage people to come by and just, come in and say hello and check us out. We basically help people who suffer from respiratory issues, so anyone who has asthma, sinus problems, a whole host of respiratory issues. But we're really more than that. I mean, we offer a natural drug-free treatment for that, but we're so much more, and that's really what I want the viewers to know today.
Yeah, I think at Respira you offer massages, is that correct?
We do. We offer massage therapy in the salt room, which is, you can't get that anywhere nearby. So you get the benefit of 2 treatments at the same time.
And can you talk a little bit about salt therapy and the idea behind it?
Sure. Actually, salt therapy has historic roots. So in Eastern Europe, there are these naturally occurring salt caves where people would go to help their breathing. And a lot of these are actually still in existence today, and people still go there. But in the 1980s, a device was invented that basically replicates and improves upon that microclimate. So you can sit in a room that's, it's literally a salt cave, and for 45 minutes, and you're breathing, salt air, which helps your breathing, and you're relaxing, and it's a beautiful thing.
Now, salt therapy, it helps with a number of different ailments, including, I think, earaches. Can you talk a little bit about
Sure.
other ailments people have that can be remedied through the salt therapy?
Sure. So basically what happens is that when the salt enters your nose, it goes deep into the sinuses and into the bronchioles of your lungs. So anytime you have congestion or fluid, it's gonna help loosen it up and get rid of it. So earaches, we see a lot of kids with earaches. We see kids and adults with various conditions such as asthma, adults who have emphysema or COPD, bronchitis, sinusitis, and just people who get sick pretty frequently and are trying to keep their immune system boosted.
And now, can you talk a little bit about where you're located? You're right on Springfield Avenue in Berkeley Heights, right?
Yes, we are. We are on the corner of Springfield Avenue and Summit Avenue, and right across the street from Bake You Crazy.
And you're a resident of Berkeley Heights.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So what's it like having a business in a town where you live?
It's actually really cool. But I have to say, when I go to the supermarket and I see someone familiar, I have to, sometimes I lose my footing because I don't know if I know them from, the elementary school or from Respira. So I'm meeting a lot of people in town that I never met before. So it's actually very nice.
And when did you open Respira?
We opened in May of 2010. So it'll be 3 years at the end of May.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you mentioned that people can kind of stop by and see it or make appointments. What's the best way for people to get more information and or to contact you about it?
Okay. So number one is we have a website, www.respirasalt.com, and if you're in the neighborhood and walking around, stop in. We're happy to give you a tour, and they can call us as well. So email, any which way you want to get in touch with us, we're happy to talk to people.
That sounds good. Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet tonight that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I mean, a few things. One is, I think that we have a great service that we offer, especially for people who are stressed out and need a place to relax. I mean, it's really an extremely relaxing thing to do for yourself. And we also offer other things that you can do in the salt room. So we have a meditation class, we offer Reiki, like you said, the massage, so various types of massage, including Thai massage, which is really great. So, even if the salt therapy is not something you're interested, there are other things we do. We've offered workshops, and we're going to be having some workshops coming up. So, I just encourage people to stop by and see what we're all about. And we also offer a complimentary session for someone who just wants to kind of, experience it. So, I think it's great. Berkeley Heights has so much to offer and so many small businesses. And I encourage everyone to patronize not just us, but all the other local businesses in town.
Well, that sounds great, Etya. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Welcome home, man.
This has been This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by thealternativepress.com, Berkeley Heights' locally owned and operated online daily newspaper. Special thanks to the Berkeley Heights Communications Committee and the Governor Livingston TV crew for their hard work and dedication in making this show happen. And thank you to you, our viewers. For these and other local news stories, visit thealternativepress.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sign up on the site to receive your news via email. Have a news tip or suggestion? Email editor@thealternativepress.com or call 908-279-0303. Until next time, for thealternativepress.com, I'm Michael Shapiro. Good night, Berkeley Heights.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by a generous donation from the Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk. To learn more, go to twibh-2-28-13.